We are one game into the Cinch Premiership 2023-2024 season. We've already established that Rangers need to get a taxi for Michael Beale, but hold the bus, don't just drive off yet, because move on over, Mr. Beale. I think Lee Johnson is going to be joining you in the back seat. Welcome back, guys, to the Spfl review show. Brand new, back for the 2023-2024 season, where we basically go through all the results from League 1, League 2, Championship, Premiership, and we make fun of everybody that had a shite weekend. And I don't know why I said League 1 before League 2, but deal with it, because we're going to start in League 2. We're not going to start in League 1. I like to get the dross over and done with first. And people are going to say, well, if you like to do the shite first, why aren't we doing Rangers? That's a good point. That is a very good point. But we're actually going to start in League 2 and we'll work our way to the Premiership. I've got a lot to talk about, so let's not spend too much time. No disrespect to followers of League 2. I mean, fair play to you. I mean, it must be a tough job supporting shite teams like this. I couldn't do it, so I'm glad somebody does. But, you know, look at these attendances, all joking aside. I mean, some of these attendances would put Livy to shame. Bonnie Rigrose getting 682 people watching them get a draw against Dumbarton. It's not the end of the world there. Nice wee draw. Peterhead with a big win against East Fife. I wasn't really expecting that. 3-0. Connor O'Keefe getting a brace. With Stranraer beating Elgin City. 1-0. Forfar Athletic and Stenhousemuir played it a 0-0. And the Spartans, newly promoted Spartans, who I think will win the league this year, got a 1-1 draw against Clyde. They were trailing at half time, but ended up coming out of the game with a point. And I mean, all these attendances are pretty decent. 627 for the Spartans. Not bad. Not bad at all. Anyway, let's see what League 2 looks like after the first round of games. Peterhead, maybe they'll be going straight back up. They came down last year. I think they want to go back to the league up above them. League 1, could Peterhead be coming inbound? Maybe. But yeah, 2 teams then with 3 points after the opening game. We've got a bunch of teams on 1 point, and then at the bottom it's Elgin City and East Fife. We'll find out who goes down. I actually thought Peterhead could be one of the teams that is in a relegation battle. I'm not going to change my mind over one game, but it's a good result, them getting a 3-0 win against East Fife. So who knows? Maybe I was wrong about that. Let's move into League 1 now. What have we got up here? League 1, Falkirk 3, Annan Athletic 0. Hamilton Academical 1, Cove Rangers 0. A Josh Kerr own goal gave Hamilton the win. Montrose 0, Kelty Hearts 2. Decent win there for Kelty Hearts. Lewis Moore and Botte Babby getting the goals. Queen of the South 3, Alloa Athletic 4. I actually predicted Queen of the South to run Falkirk close to the Championship, and they didn't get off to the greatest of starts, did they? No, they did not. I mean, Gavin Riley, I believe, got 2 penalties to try and almost get them something at the game, but it wasn't to be. I don't think Marvin Bartley will be too happy with that result right there. It's a pretty poor one, especially starting the season. You don't want to concede 4 goals at home. And Stirling Albion, newly promoted Stirling Albion, defeated Edinburgh City. We don't have an attendance for that one, but what did catch my eye was, of course, the 4,000 people that turned up at Falkirk. I mean, that's a big number. The fact that Falkirk are getting 4,000 people and like Livy struggle to get that, that's insane. I think we need teams like that. We need teams like that to be in the Championship and pushing for the Premiership. That's what we need in Scottish football. Falkirk are too good and too big to be in League 1, and I kind of do hope they come up this year, because we want our best teams at the top, and at the moment we don't have that. I mean, the fact that Falkirk, Airdrie and Dunfermline were all in League 1 last year was fucking insane, to be honest. When you looked at the attendances some of those teams could get, and it's just, those 3 clubs are too big to be that low down, in my opinion. Anyway, let's look at the League 1 table after it's all been said and done. Falkirk lead the way with the 3 points and the goal difference, and there was no draws in this game, so we've got 5 teams on 3 points and 5 teams on no points. So interesting start there to cinch League 1, but at the moment Falkirk leading this title race. Moving in to the Championship, the good old Championship, and obviously this is going to be really, really tight this season. Dunfermline versus Airdrieonians, a battle of the newly promoted sides. I don't really like this. I don't like how it's 2 promoted sides playing each other. And I get it, you know, it's a random draw, and that's probably the fairest way to do it. I totally understand that. But, I mean, these 2 teams have just come up to the Championship. It would have been better if they could have got an established Championship side in the draw, but here it wasn't to be, and it's a good win for Dunfermline Athletic. The Powers getting a victory, did get down to 10 men late on, but they managed to hold on, and in the end, yeah, they got the victory. Airdrieonians took the lead though, so they'll be a little bit disappointed that they lost this game. But solid win for Dunfermline. And almost 5,000 people in attendance. So again, it's a big attendance and way too big to be down in League One. Greenock Morton defeated Ayr United by 3-1. Shout out to Chris's Morton's TV. Seen him at the game. I mean, I wasn't literally at the game, but I did see his vlog. So big shout out to Chris Morton. I think Morton will have a good season this year. Could potentially be in a playoff place come the end of it. But another big victory, another decent attendance there. Greenock Morton winning 3-1. Inverness Califistle didn't get off to a good start. Lost 2-1. I was about to say 1-2, I don't know why. But they lost 2-1 to Queen's Park. And not a great start for Billy Dodds. They were coming off last year's high where they looked like they could have got promotion and have won the Scottish Cup and qualified for Europe. In the end, they didn't get promotion. They didn't win the Scottish Cup and they didn't qualify for Europe. So, a bit of a bummer for Inverness Caledonian Thistle, but their season, their year just got worse here because they lost to Queen's Park. Queen's Park, who fell away last season, looks like maybe they're going to steady the ship. Can we see Queen's Park push again this year for promotion, or is it beyond them? I think last season, similar to Arbroath, I think that was Queen's Park's chance, but they have invested money, so who knows, maybe they will be able to bounce back. Good win though on the opening day against Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Partick Thistle drew 2-2 with Raith Rovers. I was a bit surprised by this. I actually had this in my bet, so it cost me a little bit of money. 2 late goals for Raith Rovers, getting the point at Firhill. Poor result for Partick Thistle, especially when you consider the fact that they were winning this game by 2-0 going into the final 10 minutes. So, it was poor by Partick Thistle. I mean, it's early days. It's not like a draw now is hardly going to rule you out a title race. Of course it's not. But I think Partick Thistle will look at this thinking, holy shit, we were at home here. Very winnable tie against Raith Rovers. We were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go and we somehow blew that, Doesn't make a lot of sense. You could argue they Hibsed it, but we'll talk about Hibs and shit later on. And finally, the last game of the Sins Championship actually happened on Friday. It was first game of the season on the Friday night. Dundee United versus Arbroath. This game was live to watch on BBC at the Gayfield Park. A lot of Dundee United fans turned up. A really good attendance, 5,500. Dundee United put in a really good performance. You know what? They did not look good in League Cup, and I think quite rightly Jim Goodwin was getting pressurised for that, and he was getting criticised, and who knows, a slow start to the league season might have potentially cost him his job, but he did a good job today here. Dundee United blew Arbroath away, and they looked like a team that couldn't be winning the league this season. 4 goals in the first half. After that, they kind of took it easy. Could have probably scored more, though, to be fair. Middleton, Anim, Sebald, and Louis Moult. I mean, when you think about this team that Dundee United have, assuming they hold on to this team is way too good to be in the Championship. They can't not win the league with this squad. I mean, you got Louis Moult, you got Tony Watt, Middleton, just got so many fucking players up front, man. It doesn't make any sense how Dundee United have managed to hold this team and bring Louis Moult in as well. I mean, I'm surprised, but fair play to them. At this point, I see Dundee United going straight back up. I mean, I'd like to think Partick can challenge them, but the way they played against Arbroath, they'll be hard to beat. And that's what the league table looks like, guys. After one game, Dundee United lead the way. Then it's Greenock Morton, Dunfermline Athletic, Queen's Park, a bunch of teams on 2 teams on 1 point, or 1 point even. And then it's Airdrie, Inverness, Ayr, and Arbroath. So a lot of teams beginning with A down at the bottom there. Not too good for the A teams. Right, speaking of A teams, let's move on to the big boys. It's Premiership time. Let's see what happened. Sunday, 6th of August, yes. Hibernian 2, St Mirren 3. I managed to catch the highlights of this game, and it wasn't very good for Hibernian, man. 17,000 turned out. First home game of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if there was even less next time. The first half performance was pretty dire. They did somehow manage to turn it around in the second half and get level, only for Alex Grieve to win it for St Mirren. And the cross for the winner from Celtic was what a ball that was. Great delivery there. So St Mirren looked like they threw it away, but they end up got the winner late on, and Hibs must be gutted. Honestly, Hibs it once more, but Not very good there at Easter Road. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0. Another really poor result there for Rangers. They had their trump card, so to speak, Wally Collum, but he didn't even give them a penalty. What happened? I don't know. You tell me. The attendance is still not being released for whatever reason. But yeah, really poor performance. And look, I'm not going to write off these Rangers players after one game, because sometimes you can make a mistake of doing that. Like, everyone can have a bad game. Some players can take a few games to gel. But what I will say is, the money that Rangers have spent, I think it's like 15, 16 million in total, these players don't look good. And like I said, it could be a one-off game. Maybe they will come good. Maybe Dessers and Lammers and Danilo and all these guys and Sima or whatever, Cifuentes. Maybe these, I know he didn't get playing, but maybe these guys, when they do come in and they do start getting game, I don't like the look of Doyle either, to be honest, but who knows? Maybe after like 3-4 games, Rangers will start looking good. But in my honest opinion, from what I seen in that match, they look pretty poor to me. And I think Michael Beale has weakened the squad. I can't believe I'm saying that. But for me, they should be keeping Fashion Sakala, and they should have paid the £5 million for Malik Tillman. That's two signings that Rangers should have definitely made 100%. And while I wasn't the biggest Cholak fan, I thought he was a decent finisher. I think that's someone that Rangers probably should have kept. But no, Michael Beale has made a big turnaround. He's brought in 9 players, and I hope for his sake he's got it right. Because if he doesn't, then we're going to find out in a few weeks' time just how bad and just how wrong he's got it. But anyway, moving on. Dundee 1, sorry. Oh God, guys, don't cancel me. I meant Dundee. Dundee 1, Motherwell 1. Lyle Cameron got the equaliser 22 minutes for time, getting Dundee a point. That's a good start for Dundee. I know it's a winnable game. I know they're at home, and they will feel like they need to get wins at home to stay up. But I think, considering that the last few times they've been in the league, they've went straight back down, I just think to get a point on the board is good for Dundee. I think Dundee would have took this. I know that might sound a little bit negative, but I believe most Dundee fans, and I believe maybe the manager, Tony Docherty, I think secretly if you offered him a point today, I think he would have took it just to get something on the board and not to start with a defeat at home in the Premier League. So I think it was a decent point for Dundee, and I think it's a decent point for Motherwell, who will struggle this season, I think, without Kevin Fanfina, and the fact that they missed, like, they sold like 4 or 5, 6 of the first team players as well, so not good for them. Speaking of not good, Livy 0, Aberdeen 0. I mean, what can you say about this game? Dreadful. Fucking dreadful. There's no need to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Let's talk about something good, though. Let's talk about something worth talking about. So, St Johnstone 0, Hearts 2. Heart Midlothian getting a big victory. Yuturo Oda and Lawrence Shankland, the 2 goals to give Hearts the big win. It would have been nice to get a third goal, 3 goals, 3 managers, but it wasn't to be. We did see Liam Boyce come back on, and I think this is the first time Boyce has played a competitive league game in like a year and a half, so that was nice to see Liam Boyce getting in the action, and he actually got the assist for the second goal, playing it across to Shankland, so I did enjoy seeing that. So yeah, big up Liam Boyce. And then the game that got it underway, Flag Day, it was Celtic versus Ross County. I'm not going to give my thoughts on this. I've already gave my thoughts. I don't think it was a penalty. I really don't think it was a penalty for David Turnbull. David Turnbull's pen. I think Greg Taylor threw himself to the ground. Very, very cheap in my opinion. Very, very soft. Now Celtic, I don't think we're great. And some people, just because Rangers got beat, they're going to make fun and say, well, you laughed at Celtic. Just because Rangers got beat doesn't mean Celtic were good. I thought Celtic were poor today. But obviously they won't care because they got the 3 points and Rangers got beat. But still, I don't think Celtic were good. And yeah, Rangers were worse, there's no doubt about that. But Rangers can be as shite as they want. That doesn't mean Celtic were good, so I don't understand it. Personally, if I was a Celtic fan, I would be disappointed. Not even based on this result, just based overall. I would rather be going into this season with Ange Postecoglou at the helm rather than Brendan Rodgers. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and I'm going to stick with it. I think that Celtic are stronger with Ange Postecoglou in charge than they are Brendan Rodgers. Anyway, that is the results. And by the way, fair play to Ross County, Malky Mackay. They had a good game. I think they'll stay up this season. I know a lot of people are tipping them for relegation. I think I put them 8th. So we'll see if I'm right or not. But yeah, I think Ross County will have a decent year this year, and I don't think they'll be in a relegation battle. But now we look at the Cinch Premiership League title, trophy, whatever you call it. The league standings, that's what I want. The league standings, guys. And as you can see, Celtic and Hearts are both joint top. Now, Celtic technically go top because of goals for, but in the goals difference tally, it's the same. It's +2. Then we have St Mirren and Kilmarnock in third and fourth, with Dundee, Motherwell, Aberdeen, Livingston all getting a point. And then the 4 teams with 8 points are Hibs, Rangers, Ross County and St Johnstone. So yeah, it's only one game, guys. It's only one match into the season, but nobody wants to be bottom. Nobody wants to be pointless, so we'll see what happens. Already, I feel like the pressure's on for certain teams. I mean, you're looking at Rangers, you're looking at Hibs. I mean, they need to get something in the next game, especially for the manager's sake. I mean, we know that Rangers will not accept Michael Beale getting off to a bad start, and I don't think Hibs will accept it from Lee Johnson either. I mean, Lee Johnson I think the fans have run out of patience with him, so I think it's going to be a big match day 2. Let's have a look at it, though. Have a quick check here at the fixtures before we go see who's playing who next week. So we've got Rangers at Ibrox taking on Livy, Ross County taking on St Johnstone, St Mirren taking on Dundee, Aberdeen taking on Celtic, which could be interesting at Pittodrie, Hearts taking on Kilmarnock, and then Motherwell taking on Hibernian. So yeah, some good ties in there. I think obviously the standout one will probably be Aberdeen Celtic. It is on Sky, it's at Pittodrie, it's last year's third place taking on last year's champions. So, I mean, yeah, should be a good game. Hopefully Aberdeen turn up and can put in a good performance, and maybe they'll take points off Celtic. We'll have to wait and see, guys. Anyway, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Bean Fog Football. There's your SPFL review show. Let us know your thoughts. Let me know what your biggest and best result of the weekend was. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Till then, peace.